Hi there, thank you for joining us and welcome to the next session for Global Partnership Day. My name is Alex Simpson and I'm the VP of Customer Success APAC at PartnerEyes. I'm excited to be joined by three fantastic panelists today to dive into our topic of Beyond Growth, Unlocking the True Value of Your Partnership Programme. Firstly, I'm excited to introduce Jean Thomas. Jean is the Chief Marketing Officer at Pomelo, a leading omnichannel fashion platform in Asia. Prior to joining Pomelo, he previously served as the Chief Marketing Officer at Alibaba-backed Lazada, where he spearheaded all marketing initiatives in Singapore across Lazada and Redmart. Jean has a vast range of experience in marketing and e-commerce across APAC, having previously worked at Wego, Vinamofo, Smart Buy Glasses, and Ogilvy and Mather. Next up, we have Hari Kishan. Hari leads Neo Affiliate Unit across APAC, which launches and manages affiliate programs for some of the world's largest brands. Hari comes with a strong affiliate industry expertise across brands, partners, and platform technology. Our final panelist is Alan Dobria. Alan is the Regional Head of Marketing Solutions and Partnerships at Zalora Group, Asia's leading online fashion destination. He is also a visiting lecturer and regular keynote speaker at conferences on the topics of media, innovation, and technology. At Zalora Group, he's leading the Zalora advertising platform team, which serves as strategic partner to the world's leading fashion, beauty, sports, and lifestyle brands through the power of retail media, both on and off Zalora properties. So thank you all, Jean, Hari, and Alan, for joining us today. I'm going to dive straight into our first theme today, which is the importance of growth. So we're going to kick off with you, Alan, and ask, when it comes to growth, how crucial is the partnership role to Zalora in helping you drive growth?
Thank you very much for having me. And so for us, partnerships are very important because we see it as a key pillar to our growth and future success. So from the brand partnerships team perspective, the team that I look after, we have partnerships with the brands partners that are selling on Zalora, as well as non-endemic partners. And we look to deliver outstanding customer experiences and campaigns with both of these partners. Going more granular into the brand perspective, into the brand partners, we see Zalora not only as a retail platform, but also as an enabler for the brands that are starting or expanding their digital and e-commerce journey in the region. So from that perspective, we offer a plethora of services to the brands to help them thrive in the digital ecosystem, including fulfillment, logistics, marketing, production, data, insights, and many more. And looking at it from the non-endemic industry partnerships perspective, we see these partners as being pivotal as well in building the ecosystem for the e-commerce and digital economy to thrive. The goal in the end with both of these partners is to innovate the customer experience and surprise and delight our customers.
Great, thanks, Alan. So it's clear that partnerships really touches so many parts of the Zalora business there. Hari, I've got a question for you now. So you work with so many different brands across the region. It would be great to understand what you're seeing when it comes to growth in the affiliate and partnerships industry.
Thanks, Alex. Well, a lot of things changed over the past 1 year, right? So I can't speak for 2019 anymore, I think. But the shift that happened, there are two shifts that's happened primarily. Number one is from the brand side, where a lot of brands, primarily, the travel kind of and the retail kind of brands, majorly retail, when the pandemic started and the retail shops were closed, they were looking for other channels. They were traditionally working on social and SEO and SEM and all that. And then they were looking for a risk-free kind of channels, which is affiliate marketing straight up. And we had a lot of advertisers and brands come to us to learn more about it, work through their models and, forecast what they could do with that. So that shift happened. We had plenty of brands that came in to be interested in affiliate marketing, mainly because they wanted low risk, high returns kind of a thing. And affiliate is like the perfect thing for that. And on the partner side of it, we had the traditional partners anyway already, but the non-traditional partners, which are for which the affiliates are not the primary source of income, but then they are open to partnering with other brands. But a lot of partners are looking for newer sources of income, which means we had a huge uplift in the number of partners that we work with. And you also have the long tail partners, with a lot of people having time back home at their hands. We've seen a lot of long tail affiliates also come into the picture. So it's basically a golden period, mainly because we have brands who want to do affiliate, and we have the partner base just for that, just perfect for that. It was a very good mix and match, and the growth has been immense. Yeah, even more than we could probably go for, and that's a very nice problem to have.
Yeah, great. So it's interesting to see that there's actually brands who haven't worked in the affiliate space now kind of moving into to try that channel. Great. Jean, you're responsible for growth at a much larger scale over at Pomelo. So how do you plan and prepare for that? And how do you know where is best to invest your time to see the growth results that you're after?
Yeah, so I think like for my responsibility or overall how we look at things at Pomelo, we tend to kind of like look at the bigger picture first. Kind of like looking at like what is the next room for growth for the coming years. We try to obviously understand like the current situation, but we also try to see really like the next 3 years where we want to be. And that's why we moved away from being a single brand to a platform and continue to push on that. And the same way, we probably were one of the only fashion company to actually open so many stores during the pandemic when everyone was shutting down. So I think like when it comes to partnership or even overall marketing strategy, we start by really this big picture. Once we clearly define kind of like where we're going and what are the goals for the coming years, I think we, how we split the time is really like putting the investment and resources where we believe the ROI will be the best, in the long term. And I think like a typical flow from startups in general is to really focus on short term. Of course, everyone has, certain financial they have to hit and so much funding you have. But ultimately, if you don't serve your customers, in the best way you can over the next coming years, and you're focusing on really short-term gain for your business, you're gonna have a certain impact, right? So I think we try to really look at that when it comes to investment. And I think from a time standpoint, I mean, we try to be flexible. I think we try to have like 80% focus on the plan and then 20% focus on like pure flexibility, where like the teams can freely come up with plans and ideas and campaign and partnerships which are outside of the current plan. I think that's kind of like flexible in that terms, because obviously things change and you don't want to be too rigid when it comes to your planning. And then yeah, I mean, after like once all of this come together, we kind of like starting to make channel decisions, where we kind of like be like, for example, for us, as we're moving into the platform, partnership become a big part of what we're doing, where maybe 2 years ago when we were a single brand, we were focusing a lot on like building a brand, per se, and putting a lot of money and effort into brand awareness and what we're doing on that single brand. So things shift over time, and things will continue to shift as we go. Yeah.
Great, thanks very much. It's good to get that kind of wider view, how you look at that from a CMO perspective. Thanks very much. So I think this is a question that a lot of people will be interested in hearing your views on. Alan, we've got people joining from around the globe. Southeast Asia is a very unique landscape. Are you able to share more about the growth journey of Zalora and what are the interesting trends that you've noticed in your region? And then specifically, what are some of the countries that you feel have the most growth potential for you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Southeast Asia is indeed a very unique and diverse region, which brings a lot of opportunities as well as challenges. Zalora just celebrated its 9th birthday earlier this year in March, and
congratulations!
Tremendous, thank you. Tremendous growth in our markets in the past few years. In terms of the trends, and I guess covering here the markets as well, what we've seen since the start of the pandemic is that consumer behavior has changed in a couple of areas, and it's continued to remain as such for now. And I think probably across the whole e-commerce spectrum, we've seen customers being more comfortable with online shopping. And in the region, there's been various researches done, and I think there's around 40 million new users that have joined in 2020 alone, the e-commerce economy. Then value for money is, still a key consideration in the region. And again, I would think in the research we've seen is that around 60% of customers in Southeast Asia, they put value among their top 3 purchase conditions. And then also in Singapore and Thailand, for example, I think 70% cite it as the top consideration for purchase. And then interestingly, we've also seen a shift in the product categories. So the demand for sports, wellness, loungewear has increased as people's lifestyles remain homebound and they continue to work from home. And also in the space of the well-being category overall, which is something that Zalora has also ventured into, so kind of expanding our assortment. And then also increased demand in some of the other new categories that we are playing into, such as beauty, kids, and luxury. So in luxury, for example, the category has remained surprisingly resilient, and quality classic pieces have become and continue to be key objects of investment. So these are just some of the trends we've seen in the last year or so.
Great, thanks very much. Yeah, that's really interesting around luxury pieces still remaining, along with all the pajamas that everyone's buying to hang out in at home. Hari, we're going to kind of shift the topic onto around growth beyond revenue now. And a misconception, obviously, is that growth is always about revenue. And it would be good to understand what the types of conversations you're having in market about growth with your customers, and the topics around profitability and margin and any other kind of metrics and areas customers are asking for your support in.
Sure, Alex. The answer is sort of in the question itself. Like revenue used to be a big part of the APIs that we used to have, but then over the past year and a half, it started moving more and more to profitability and margin. I mean, when it comes to affiliate partnerships and partnerships in general, the margins are pretty healthy. The ROI is pretty healthy overall. And as the affiliate channel is becoming a large part of the overall revenue pieces that a brand has, the higher profitability or the margin in the affiliate channel balances out for any other lower ROIs that the other brands have, or sorry, the other channels have. So we have been having more and more conversations on margins. Brands are looking closely into what is the ROI, how much profitability are we getting out of this. Thankfully, a very healthy sector, very healthy profits and very healthy margins here to the brands. And we are able to balance a lot of it. If there is one channel which has a very low margin, we are able to actually accommodate for that. So this has always been the case when it comes to affiliate channels, but now the brands are focusing more on that. The conversations that happen within are not just brand and ads anymore. It's also the other marketing pieces that the brand has, other teams that the brand has, so that we are collectively working together to increase the overall margins and profitability of that brand. So yes, and in that sense, also when it comes to profitability, not every market is the same. Instead of rushing into one market, brands usually pilot, or at least we recommend the brands to actually pilot in a certain market. If a US or Europe brand want to venture into Southeast Asia, we would actually pick a pilot market, do a valid research behind it, and basically say, okay, let's launch in Malaysia, let's pick up Singapore, let's pick up Indonesia, but a market that is very close and more related to the brand. And we study it, give it a half year to a year, we study it and then expand upon it slowly. We had quite a few brands which we initially launched in one market, as you know, mostly from Australia and Singapore, and then we expanded to all over Southeast Asia.
Yeah, great. I think it's you make a good point there, and Alan mentioned earlier about there's lots of opportunity within Southeast Asia, but with that comes lots of challenges with all the nuances of market. So that makes sense in terms of an approach. Alan, you're responsible for a range of different partnership types. So it'd be great to understand what motivates you personally as well as Zalora when it comes to setting objectives and measuring these partnerships, again, when we're thinking about just beyond revenue.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the opportunity to keep innovating our partnerships and trying new things with the partners that will ultimately evolve the customer experience. And for me, partnerships are marketing's best kept secret because it will enable win-win-win situation for all the parties, including ourselves, the partners, and the customers. And I think there's no one size fits all approach to the partnerships, and we ultimately like to tailor how we work with each partner to get the most impact out of the collaboration. And when it comes to objectives and measurement of success for partnerships, we look at a couple of things. So specific hard metrics, I think in e-commerce is a must. So we definitely look at things like sales, customer acquisition, impressions, reach. We also look at more soft metrics such as the customer satisfaction, customer feedback, either direct by the engagement with the campaign or via the social sentiment. And then I think for me, I like to look at the wow moments and the innovation. So, for example, buy now, pay later. This is a new solution that we've been introducing across our markets with various partners, and that's basically giving customers more options to shop and access to better deals. So, at the end of the day, I believe that Zalora is a positive force for good in the region by enabling our customer access to the latest fashion, lifestyle, and beauty. And the partnerships play a key role to build this seamless customer experience.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. Jean, how do you align all of your marketing functions that you manage to achieve the same top line goals? And are growth and revenue goals significantly different for your affiliate and partnership team versus your paid social teams, for example? How does it kind of all come together?
Yeah, I mean, to come back to so what I said earlier. I mean, I think we try to kind of like look at our channel and kind of like obviously looking at like A, what we want to do in the long term, B, what can we afford in the short term, and then C, kind of like really deciding which channel is the most effective for the time being, right? So typically we are quite fortunate that all channels are in-house at Pomelo, so we don't really use external agencies or whatnot. So you have about 80 people sitting in marketing, and we set up things in Pomelo where the campaign team in marketing is actually the central part of the business. So they're kind of like the one that ensuring that all the cross-function kind of like work well together. So it's kind of like a chance in some way because marketing being closer to the customer, campaign team being the one making sure the cross-function are basically, coordinating everything. It kind of like help to make sure that the commercial decision are kind of like, obviously like good for customer at the end of the day. So actually we're trying to have very low disconnect on that. And then once we plan this properly, then we kind of like ensure that every single channel has the same messages, and we're trying to make sure that all the investment is really going to the channel that we believe have the best performance. And I think it's been going pretty well so far. I mean, having everything in house helped a lot, to be honest. Like we're able to really see everything coming together. When we use agencies, if one of your agencies started to basically provide things that are a bit different than your in-house team, it's very easy to have oversight. So we do believe like a big reason for success of Pomelo was having that strong marketing team in-house. And then yeah, I mean, like the last part really is like we are very heavy on review, to be honest, of everything we do. I mean, we tend to maybe overdo it a little bit on like postmortem and reviewing over and over the result. But I think we're trying to make sure that we don't do twice the mistakes, and we're trying to make sure we can double down on everything that we do that works well as well. So I think that if you ask my team, they probably say we do that too much, but I think it helps in the long term to get better.
Great, yeah. I'll let you and Hari have a separate debate on agencies or in-house at another time. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see how your team is built up and how they work together. I might just jump back to you again, John, just to ask, with partnerships emerging as a fast acquisition channel, for you personally, how's your awareness and involvement in the channel changed over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, even a year ago, actually, partnership was close to inexistent in Pomelo. And I think a lot of things really changed in the past year, or even I would say last 2 years, let's say, where basically it's like a partnership. A lot of them are on the fashion side, so really like the actual product side of the Pomelo private label brand, where we partner with fashion designers, partner with successful startups or tech company like TikTok and Grab to create fashion collection. We're trying to really put a lot of focus on that because that's kind of like our core part of the business. So we're doing a lot of partnership on that side. We obviously started to invest a lot in subsidies partnership, as everyone has a bit of more goals to be more profitable since we work. So I think like we kind of like spend a lot of time on finding partners that can help to subsidize, vouchers and cashback and whatnot. So been spending a lot of effort on that. And then the third pillar, actually, because Pomelo expanding quite heavily on retail as well, and obviously the retail being what it is today, we've been trying to spend a lot of time in getting partnership in order to drive traffic into the stores. Because what you realize is like you have very low control over driving traffic to retail stores when it comes to offline marketing. In online marketing is crazy. You run Facebook ads and then here you go, you have traffic. But in offline, you're very dependent on the people going to the mall. So you kind of like getting a percentage of that. So I think we've been trying to look at like a lot of partnership where people can kind of like cross buy from different stores, not competing with each other, to drive traffic inside, and then linking back this to the platform, basically, to kind of like track everything, making sure which customer they are and understanding better on their journey. And then in what's coming now, I mean, we are investing quite heavily in loyalty program. The loyalty program will have also a big list of partners that will be part of it, that will be able to join the program and tap into our customer base. So that'll be the next evolution of partnership, basically. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's good to see how it's kind of evolved over the years. Thanks for that insight. Hari, you obviously see successes of the channel every day. How do you help brands you work with really showcase that value internally, and how are you able to kind of elevate that conversation about affiliate and partnership marketing to a CMO level?
Good question, Alex. Thank you. I think if you look at the space of the affiliate program, how can brands or other companies actually, how reachable are they in that division? If you look at Zaloras and Pomelos, for example, they're front runners in the affiliate program. They got to it first. They understood it, and it was very the flexibility was there to actually launch it. But when we go to really traditional and very heavy brands, which are very corporate and really global, with different entities sitting there, it's very hard to actually convince people and get it up to the CMO levels to actually say, hey, this is very important. So what we do is a lot of training and webinars. We invite the clients, we invite the agencies that are handling it, even to any part of the world. We educate them a lot of success stories that we share, a lot thanks to Partnerize. We have a lot as well. So we share a lot of stories, try to get the reach as much as possible. But at the same time, we have to also see how fluid that organization is to implement something like this. Whether even if to launch in one market, imagine it has to be going top levels and having a final go at it. So the convincing is not there. There are few people that actually get the idea, but pushing it higher levels up is always the tricky part. might not seem as important to some brands, whereas it might seem like, okay, let's just do it kind of. But if you look at the affiliate programs, the successful ones that Alan and John are doing, for example, these are very good examples that we can actually showcase to some of the brands and get the CXOs, any one of them, to actually come in and jump in and say, hey, we look at all of what the newer companies are doing, and you're sort of lagging behind, right? So these are the kind of conversations that we take, a lot of competitor analysis, lot of things that we actually work behind the scenes, webinars mostly, a lot of them, we pull them in and actually hold them by the ear and actually showcase them what affiliate marketing is all about. Because most of them think, oh yeah, affiliate marketing, okay, wait, isn't that some stockbroking dude sharing a link to get onto a trading platform? Not really, right? Anybody who shared their code on their referral code on Zada or Zalora or anything, even to their friend to invite them onto the app, without knowing they themselves have become a referral, an affiliate basically. So this level of education, making it really simple for them to understand, and really also going into depth in a very balanced way at the right time is what we do. Try to get it the foot in the door with the major brands. And once that comes in, and thankfully a lot happened over the past 1 year, we have been seeing quite a bit of buzz in the affiliate marketing, at least in Southeast Asia. It's growing, it's healthy.
Great. So education still seems really key within the market, along with being able to showcase that there's some kind of key success stories within the market. Great. I guess continuing with the theme of success, Alan, it would be great to hear from you on what are some of the more successful types of partnerships or success cases that you've worked on in the past.
Yeah, so for example, we've done a really cool campaign recently for our birthday with PayPal. And the reason I like this campaign a lot is because we executed very well and we planned it well in advance. So we had the opportunity to really integrate the PayPal comms and the PayPal branding into all of our assets and have a proper 360 campaign, if you can call it that way. Yeah, that led to really strong performance and customer engagement. I think from my perspective, those are the really exciting partnerships where you can go above and beyond and really marry up the two brands together and create an amazing customer experience.
Yeah, fantastic. I think it's really great how all of your partnerships, you are talking about the experience for the customer as well. So ensuring that those partnerships really do resonate with the end user, because if they don't, then they'll be questioning what the point of that being there is. Jean, in terms of Pomelo, how do you plan to use partnerships to sustain growth after the huge spike in e-com that we saw in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many avenues for us, because as I said, we're moving from a brand to a platform, right? So obviously, as the business model is changing, also the strategy is changing a little bit. I mean, when it comes to partnership, obviously, if you look at platform business, the need for partnership is a lot higher than from single brand, right? Obviously, like Shopee, Lazada, and Zalora obviously have a lot of needs in partnership, and so will be for Pomelo in the coming years. So I think on the aspect that will change a lot. I think what we also will invest a lot of time is with brands, right? As we bring in more and more brands into our platform, obviously you have a need to partner with them and do more things, in terms of pure promoting their product, promoting their brands, doing co-partnership as part of your loyalty program, whether you want maybe to create offline space into our stores, let's say for one of the brands that we work with, tapping into their customer base as well to draw traffic to Pomelo, etc., etc. So I think really the big focus will be to really expand the partnership when it comes to brands. I think that really will be the focus as the business model is evolving. And then yeah, I think that's quite exciting, and we're looking forward to partner with them a lot as well. And And I think lastly as well, to give you how deep we're going into this, is like we even just launched a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I think the official PI is coming out next week, where basically Pomelo has now a B2B arm of as a business called Prism, where basically we're going to partner with all the brands in Southeast Asia in order to do anything from marketing services to manufacturing to design the clothes, to give them a trends report, to basically everything we've been building for our brand for the past 8 years. So we're going to basically monetize all of this and partner further with the brand one level deeper, and really with all their team and not just their marketing team. Yeah, so that's kind of like where we at. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I mean, a theme that I'm hearing from all of you is like how you get these kind of like deeper partnerships, and that's really what's going to help with the growth of businesses. So it's good to hear some examples on that, Jean. Now we're sort of on to our final topic, which is around getting excited about growth and what's next for the industry. So Hari, if we kick off with you and understand, what are the new partnership types out there that you're excited to work with in 2021 and beyond? What should we be looking out for?
Thanks, Alex. I mean, I've found a newfound love for e-wallets, I would say. Earlier, the biggest partnerships, or the easier way earlier to have access to a large amount of partner base, was typically banks and telecom and banks, because look at the customer base, it's huge. So having them as a non-traditional partner would have been was really working very well. But then they also come with a lot set of difficulties. They're huge, very concrete organizations, and not as fast-paced as we could work with. The MVNOs very much better. They're faster, peppier, more easy to work with. But when it comes to e-wallets, you look at each of the ones that, first of all, they're very young, very new. They have huge customer databases. Their program launches, or the product development is really, really fast. So there's always something coming out. So you want to do something, a campaign, an always on program with them, very good. 1 month later, they have a new product launching. So it's always exciting to work with them. So yes, crazy new numbers in terms of the customer bases they have, very easy to work with, very young companies. Most of the e-wallets are quite young, not too old companies, which makes it even better, easier to work with. Product development is faster, which means it's always exciting for us to mix and match what the brand can do with this product, that the product feature that they launched with. So I'm really looking forward to more of these kind of partnerships. Plus, the good point is there's a lot of them already in the region, so you don't really have to search too much for them. Easily accessible. So e-wallets is my biggest bet for 2021 and probably next year as well. And a lot of companies are coming up with them. So let's see.
Great, thanks, Hari. Let's see what happens across the rest of the year. Jean, will Pomelo be leveraging partnerships to support the omni-channel business strategy? You kind of touched on this slightly earlier in the fact that you opened lots of stores during the time when lots of people were closing.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, we have no plan to stop. We're going to keep opening more. I think we're opening 3 actually next month, if I'm not wrong, 3 more stores in July. I think, it also will enable us to kind of like make our presence across Asia a bit bigger, particularly in countries where we do not have stores today, so such as Philippines, for example, or even Vietnam. Other countries pretty much have a store there. So we're going to keep doing that. And then we think it's a great way to also even start partnership conversation, right? Like, a lot of people, for some reason, they always think like, if your brand have retail presence in Southeast Asia, you are like a real thing, So like, a lot of brands want to partner with you. We get a lot of requests because of the retail stores as well. And as I said, like, the good thing with retail is that you can kind of like make it in a way where, you can create very amazing experiences for the brand that you partner with and bring them into it. Because if you think about it, if you look at like multi-brand department stores, right, the experience is pretty poor, actually. It's just like, a big space, some clothes on some tables, and there's nothing really happening already. And I think like we see we can create some better experience to kind of like uplift some of these brands when they come into Pomelo stores in the future. So I think, yeah, I mean, keep on disrupting what has always been what we try to do. We try to make it better over time, and we are quite excited to continue on the omnichannel journey. I think it's still unclear who is the winner on that specific topic. A lot of people doing online, offline, but nobody is very clearly winning, yet. I would say at this. So I think we have a good shot for it. Yeah.
Great. Good luck with that. It's a big challenge. And then I think we've kind of coming to the end. We've got time for one last question for you, Alan. And we've seen so many creative campaigns and promotions from Zalora over the years. Be great to understand how you're preparing for the upcoming shopping holiday season and how partnerships can support that strategy.
Yeah, no, I think that's it's a very exciting, I guess, second half of the year coming up for all of us. So for Zalora and partnerships, I guess we look at a couple of things, and I'll touch upon them very quick. So first of all, data as the North Star for both the marketing partnerships, but also commercial strategy. So looking at what's worked in the past, what the customer wants, and giving it to them, always a winning strategy. So we'll definitely double down on that. I think the other point that I mentioned a couple of times on the customer shopping experience. So introducing additional features with partners such as buy now, pay later, enticing cashback programs and campaigns that we've done with partners. I think definitely doubling down on these type of initiatives. And then finally, I think content marketing and shoppertainment for both the brand partners and the industry partners. I think we will be upping our game in terms of content as the customers in the region are blurring the lines between shopping and entertainment. Yeah, I think the content marketing is definitely going to take center stage, and this will provide more inspiration to customers, more entertainment, and we'll be seeing a lot from Zalora, I would say, on this part as well. So these are just some of the areas that we're looking at.
Great. So watch this space for Zalora. I love that term, shoppertainment. I've not heard that one before. Thanks very much, Alan, for giving us that view for the upcoming shopping holiday season for Zalora. I think sadly that's actually all we've got time for today. So I feel like we've really only scratched the surface of some of the amazing projects and innovations that you've all been working on across the APAC region. So just want to say a huge thanks to Jean, Hari, and Alan for sharing all your knowledge and insights with us today. It's been fantastic. So thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great sessions coming up.